I remember when this park first came up as an idea. Our very first year for a service, it was all mud. And way down there, we had a stick that we put in the ground. And our next speaker was the gentleman that came here and laid the wreath for us, Mr. Bill Casey.
Thank you, Ken, and ladies and gentlemen, veterans, first responders. This is very moving. You know, every time I come here, I'm moved by the message you're sending. And I want to tell you a story about how important it is, the message you're sending. Several years ago, I had a chance to go to the Middle East. And in Gaza, I was told there's a graveyard with 23 Canadian peacekeepers buried there. Sends shivers down my spine just talking about it. I asked to go to the graveyard, and I went to the graveyard. It's down a little road, and it's behind a bunch of buildings, and it's surrounded by a brick wall. It's very well cared for. 23 of our young people died there. They're still there. They'd be my age, approximately, now, if they lived. I visited. I signed the guest book. And I left. A year later, I went back. And I went to the graveyard again. I went to the guest book to sign in. My name was the last name on the guest book in over a year. So what you're doing is remembering those peacekeepers. I hope people remember those 23 Canadian peacekeepers in Gaza that are buried there and have been there for decades. But I still am moved by that. And in this community, you've done an incredible project here to recognize the United Nations peacekeepers. And I don't know if you have more imagination left, but maybe we could do something for those 23 United Nations peacekeepers in Gaza. And but what you're doing, you're remembering those peacekeepers. And it's so important we do it. Every single one of you is doing that. And but that's how important it is what you're doing. I don't know if anywhere else in the country people are remembering those 23 peacekeepers, but we are here. On the upside, I want to tell Roland and some of the others, many of you have post-traumatic stress disorder badges. Right now before Parliament is a bill to create a framework to deal with post-traumatic stress for first responders and veterans. It's halfway through the process. I know it's going to go through. I'm sure it's going to go through. And it may provide some help and assistance to those who have gone through this horrible experience. Some of the testimony we've had, people like me, I've never experienced anything like it. We've heard some incredible testimony, and you really start to feel the impact. So with that, again, I just want to say congratulations to Karen and Ken and everybody that has anything to do with this event that remembers our peacekeepers. And I was glad to lay the wreath the first year, and if there's anything I can do anytime, I will be more than glad to do it. Ken, you know where I am. So thanks very much, everybody, and remember